Week 18, the deep dive. I've got so many reflections on my board this week. It's actually crazy. Too much writing down on here. So, where do we start? So, for those of you that have not been on this deep dive video before, it is unscripted. I'm not going to edit the video. I'm just going to crack on, share my thoughts, and hopefully help anyone out there who is a experienced founder, startup founder, anyone who has aspirations to own their own business and grow their business. So, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, about 8 reflections this week. Oh my God. So, let's try and get through it because my aim is to keep it under 10 minutes. So, number one, keep pivoting. Keep pivoting, keep pivoting, keep pivoting. The way I look at business is really, it's like practice makes perfect. You come up with an idea and you keep just adapting and changing that message and that offering until you really land it. The way you do that is the way I've done that is by bringing my first set of customers on at a hugely reduced price. And I'm not trying to make money right now. I'm trying to build the solution, the offering, which I know I can then rinse and repeat. So the reason I keep pivoting is because, and actually this leads to one of my last points, which is a done for you service. That's the next thing I'm considering now is that I'm in the process of building a brilliant program. I know it will be brilliant because I've done it before. Um, but my concern is for a lot of these founders, they're just so supremely busy. How are they going to implement it? And I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. But if I think about my last 2 businesses, that's what I brought people in for, right? You bring a marketing director in to execute and oversee your marketing strategy. You bring a finance director in to execute and oversee your finance strategy, etc., etc. But a lot of the startup companies are not in that privileged position to bring these types of people in. So how can I help people? So that's why I continue to keep pivoting, but I listen to the audience, I listen to my customers, and by doing that, I'm going to find that solution. So you keep pivoting, keep moving forward. And I think what I've realized the last few weeks is marketing is not only a founder problem, it's a business problem, right? So my objective right now is to keep working with founders and entrepreneurs, but a few opportunities have come through from my network, from people I know and trust, and who've reached out and said, my leaders or my team need some help with marketing. Can you go and help? So I'm not sure where that's going to go yet, but it's the same solution, right? Like being able to build a marketing engine, excuse me, which you can rely on. That's what founders want, but really that's what every business wants as well. Let's have a bit of water. So we'll see where that goes. Um, the last week, third reflection. So I think I've done 1 and 2, 2 and a bit. Third reflection. People buy from people. This will never ever freaking change. I know the world of AI is disrupting everything, but people buy from people. And one thing I'm building into my program, most people in marketing will understand like a lead funnel, like the classic funnel of getting people within the funnel and taking them through to a customer. I'm starting to call that a trust funnel now because actually it's about taking people on that journey through to trusting you to then part with their money. So just a reminder, people will always buy from people. That's the key reason. Even behind those AI bots, there's usually humans. Big targets help focus. That's been my biggest challenge this week. What's been on my mind, which is trying to get targets right. I haven't nailed it yet, but there's so for me, I want to get to 10k a month. That's what I want to get to. I want to get to 10k a month. Once I get to 10k a month, I will feel happier that that business is now sustainable. Okay, I can keep growing it. If it doesn't get to 10k a month, I'll start questioning if it's the right business. And then back to my first point, keep pivoting. I'm confident I could get to that 10K a month. When is a good question. I would probably say early next year. Optimistically January, pessimistically spring, summer. So I know I'm on my path to getting there, but then the flip round to it is I listen to this really good audiobook at the moment. Oh, I'll put it in the notes below. I think Built to Scale, but it's talking about impossible goals. And there's a brilliant book I read where it introduced a theory called Big, Hairy, Audacious Goals, which is about setting your stall out for really big targets. And I think there's pros and cons to it, because I think the pro is it definitely makes you think a bit differently. Okay, so my target is to get, so that's my core target. Just get to 10K a month first, and that's building your sustainable business. But what I want to get to is 100K a month. Get to 100K a month. My rough estimate is it's going to take me 3 years to do that. If I can do that faster, fantastic. So by thinking about how you get to 10K a month, I'm not going to do my fingers, but think about how you get to 10K a month versus 100K a month. It's a totally different strategy. Totally different strategy, different investment, different operational needs, different everything, right? And it's even made me think about starting to build my team. So I have a team of people around me, but they're all kind of freelancers, and that's not going to change. I might bring a couple of employees in, but I love all the employees I've worked with in the past, but when you bring employees on, you have a duty to them to look after them, and that can be a massive distraction. I do not need to be distracted in my early days. I need to focus on building up those sales, adding loads of value to customers, and then I can think about everything else. So just thought it was really interesting how to focus my target. So my core target is 10K, but when I think about getting to 100K, it changes everything. It changes my behavior. So we'll see what happens. And actually that goes to my next point. So I think I've done 3, that was 4. This is 5th reflection. Why am I building a product? I think I've mentioned this before. I'm going to mention this again. I cannot scale myself. I've had a few people contact me, and thank you in case you're watching this, who've offered for me to come in and help in like a consultancy type role. There's a part of me that wants to do it. There's absolutely a part of me that wants to do it because I love helping. I love helping people. I love using my expertise to go and help people solve a problem, which is really marketing, strategic marketing. But I cannot sell myself. I cannot clone myself again and again. That's why I'm building a product. That product is going to help all founders and entrepreneurs based off me doing it twice before. This is how you build a great business, and this is how you build a marketing engine. Here you go. Once I have that product up and running, people can buy it again and again and again. And if I think about my vision in my head, and this is only one part of the piece of the puzzle, right? But if I think about where I see the future, my dream would be in, let's say, 6 months' time, a year's time, I am doing anything. I could be sitting here at my desk in my office. I can be having lunch with friends, family, and then I get orders through on my phone. Bang, bing, order, bing, order, bing. That is what I'm trying to achieve here. You cannot do that if I have to do everything manually. So that's why I'm building a product you can sell to anyone in the world at any time. And that is obviously what I've learned over the last few years of building my business. So that's why I'm building a product. And the last but not least really is my founding members. So week 1 is done. Woohoo! I'm now going to catch up with them next week to see how they progressed. And my job is to take them on that journey and to basically make sure that they have the best impact possible. And again, really openly, why am I doing this? Why am I bringing on founding member customers? Because at the end of this journey, which will be middle to end of October, All my founder members would have gone through the program. And then I'm going to have amazing case studies. So for me, case studies and success stories and using the customer is a massive part of success in marketing. I could say things like, I'm great and look at my success. And that is part of the funnel. But actually saying, let's say you're my customer, getting you to say what an amazing experience this has been and how much confidence it's given you, and you now have the blueprint to do it, that's priceless. So that's why I'm doing it. My job is to make sure that my customers are successful. The program is then a great 10 out of 10 program, and then I can worry about everything else, basically. So week one done. I'm excited to do week two next week. Week two is about the dream customer in more details, which is really around understanding the objections of why they might sign up to your product or service. So until then, week 18 done.